If you were drafted into a late medieval army of choice, what sort of soldier would you want to be for maximum survivability? Well, late medieval, man-at-arms and plate armor with a pole arm. Sounds good to me. Good exercises for someone new to HEMA. Yeah, cardio, of course, is important, but if you want specific things, I mean, the basic strength exercises are always handy, like squats and deadlifts. Now, the important thing is that you do that with good form. So ideally, work together with a trainer. I know personal trainers are expensive. I'd love to be able to afford one, but I can't currently. But yeah, watch plenty of instructional videos and try to figure it out that way, because if you do it with bad form, then you're going to injure yourself. I've done it a number of times, but it's definitely useful. You know, strengthening your core in particular is very useful because you need that quite a bit. And strengthening your back also helps. Especially a lot of people who sit a lot have a weak core. You know, that's something that I've been working on too, because I've been sitting way too much for most of my life, and I still do, because I have to do a lot of recording and editing in front of the screen, and yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, legs are important. Don't skip leg training. Don't be one of those bros with massive upper body and then little chicken legs. It's kind of interesting to think, what would the life expectancy be if there were literally no pollutants and nothing at all harmful in the environment, in the food and everything. Everything was 100% beneficial and healthy, and everything is, of course, not possible. But if it was, would we live to see 200 years or longer? Who knows? IRL is not a game. I mean, I guess it kind of is, with very detailed graphics and kind of a shitty art style and really bad mechanics. And I mean, okay, the physics are pretty good, but character creation sucks. I mean, it's somebody else does it for you. You don't get any say in it. And you can end up with a really shitty character with all kinds of handicaps. There's also cheats, but they're only available for the 1%. You know, endless money cheat and all that. Max idiotism. That's a separate skill now. So you mean your Dumpstat is intelligence? Yeah. I feel like a lot of people have picked that as a Dumpstat. Either that or wisdom. I think a lot of people use wisdom as their Dumpstat. Sometimes I'm thinking my player put a bunch of points into shit that I can't use, like magic affinity or immunity or something like that, and had to pick a bunch of handicaps to, fund that. And then it's like, oh shit, he's in this scenario. Well, damn. Leave me alone with my Fahrenheits. No, I will rip them from you. I will take the Fahrenheits and shove them up your... Oh, never mind. You can have them. Just don't bother me with them. Canadians bottle up their rage too much. If we really want to get back at someone, we're going to be extra polite. Like, painfully polite. It's going to make you feel like shit about yourself because you're such a rude piece of crap. And, sometimes we will riot because of hockey games. Yeah. 2011 riot in Vancouver because a hockey team lost. To be fair, though, that's literally the only Canadian riot that I'm aware of. And of course, it's about hockey. Yeah. At least they didn't hit each other with beavers. That's something. Just grab a beaver by the tail, dunk it in maple syrup, and smack it in some bitch's face. That's how we fight. YouTube recommends you a video about some dude boiling his phone, but never recommends you videos. Yep, that's YouTube for you. YouTube is a little bit special needs. This completely sums up what I love about fall and Halloween. The atmosphere is just awesome. And, this little witch house in the middle of the haunted woods, that would be super badass. It's kind of my dream house. I'm just going to show you pictures because screw it. I mean, who didn't have a crush on Demona when watching Gargoyles in the 90s? Admit it. Still flint napping? No, I haven't done that in quite a while because it's not really good to do in a rental apartment. Kind of sucks. You don't know what Gargoyles is? Well, listen up, you young whippersnapper. Look it up. Gargoyles animated series. It's good stuff. Gotta know. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you a few cute pictures. That's what you've signed up for. You just didn't know it. You're getting diabetes from this? Good. You're gonna have to go punch a wall when you're done with this stream. I don't remember saving this, but apparently I have a picture of a realistic Yoshi. That's special. Looks pretty damn badass, actually. Every time I see this picture, I'm kind of thinking like female Roland Deschain almost. It definitely reminds me of that. The Gunslinger. How's the collection firearms wise? Currently, I've got the Chris Vector and 22 Henry lever action rifle. I don't have any handguns left, and yeah, the collection is pretty well. I still have the brain. I still have the brain. Yes, it sometimes works. The Brown Bess. The musket is also still there. Advantage of a grip heavy tomahawk. I don't think there is one really, because an axe, tomahawk in particular, or any other kind of axe or hatchet, is supposed to be top heavy. So I don't think that's really a good idea. How come you make a few sparring videos? Well, it's because the recording, for one, lately I've had very little time to actually go to HEMA class. Sadly, it's just running everything here was too much work and I've barely had any time for it. The other thing is that recording there sucks because the lighting in the solid blunt iron is pretty bad. And the videos just don't turn out well. The thing is, in order to compensate for the mediocre lighting, the camera has to crank down the shutter speed, which turns everything into a blurry mess. So it's really bad video quality. And we have rare opportunities to do sparring outside and record that. So that's the reason. Old pictures where I was kind of a little overweight. You're trying to be really polite here, aren't you? I used to be fat as fuck. I mean, let's face it. At my worst, I wasn't really, wait. Yeah, actually, I think I was on YouTube at my worst as well. I mean, at my worst, I was at like 125 kilograms, which for my height, that's a lot of fat. I now weigh around 85, so 40 kilograms less. Yeah, I was pretty damn fat. Yes, it is difficult to keep it off. It is very difficult for me because I have. My main problem is, for one, I come from a fat family. Both my parents were overweight, and we didn't have healthy food choices. We ate a lot of, fatty meat and, lots of bread and, also just large quantities of food and lots of candy and stuff and just, junk food, etc. And in my particularly teenage years, really, I used food to basically self-medicate because I hated just about everything. Yeah, edgy teenager, I know. But yeah, I basically learned this behavior of making myself feel better with food and self-medicating with food. And it's a constant struggle. I have to constantly try to get my shit back together, get back on track. And it's like up and down all the damn time. I keep going through these phases. Like I go through a phase of pretty rigorous exercise and good dieting and everything. I drop a bunch of weight, and I get to my lowest. Then I hold that for a while, and then I slowly creep up again. I didn't really get over it. I still do that. I still do the, whenever I get really stressed out and frustrated, and then otherwise I'm in a shitty mood, I still resort to food, unfortunately, to make myself feel better, which unfortunately works. Tire armor effective? I would think probably. I could see that being reasonably effective. It's pretty thick, tough rubber. You can make armor out of just about anything as long as you use enough layers. Now the layers, that could be a problem because if it's too many layers, you can't even move in it effectively. So, cement armor. That'd be a tad heavy, I think, and not very flexible. The oldest I currently have is this. It's Indian toolware. I don't know exactly how old it is. The person who sent it to me doesn't know either. And I would have liked to test this, but I can't even really cram my hand onto the handle. Like, look at how short the handle is. I don't have large hands, but I can't even do it. Like, I could just about squeeze it in if I put a finger over the guard, but I don't think I can use this effectively. I'm generally skeptical about this, like a full-size blade on the other side. If you have a spike, that's fine. But if you have like an entire sharp blade, like a pretty long blade, then this can get in the way. This can actually hinder yourself. So I don't really think you're getting that much out of it necessarily. Although, I'm of course thinking quarterstaff techniques. If you use that with bow techniques, then that could be a lot more effective. So that might actually be okay in that case. I will withhold judgment on this one because I'd have to mess around with that a little bit myself to get a better idea of how they handle. It's definitely not one where I take a look at it and I immediately go, nope, get out of here, that's bullshit. It's seems reasonable enough. It's also really crazy to think about naval warfare, even in earlier times. Like if you think Greeks, if you're unlucky enough to be a sailor when there's Greek fire involved, it's just like you better just kill yourself right there. I mean, that's the worst. Like you're on fire.
Jump in the water to put it out.
Yeah, exactly. You jump in the water and you continue burning underwater. That's the worst.
Yeah, because it's napalm.
Yeah. That's just insane. A good villain character is not this, oh, I will do the thing because I'm evil. It's not like Skeletor, who's like
mustache twirling.
Yeah, exactly. Who's like deliberately doing evil things to be evil. That's really more the edgy emo teenager version of a villain. Like a real villain is somebody who has this distorted, twisted view that just
as far as they're concerned, they're the hero.
Yeah, exactly. Like they don't think they're evil. They actually believe that they are doing the right thing and everybody else is wrong. That's the crazy thing about it.
If you're gonna get try to get all nuanced and be Byronic with your heroes and everything, then you have to give the same treatment to your villains. You have to humanize them.
Yes.
And make people even sympathize with them.
Yeah.
Well,
that makes a more effective villain.
Loki in Norse mythology does evil shit. He is the cause of the apocalypse, but at the same time, he also helps them, and is the cause for Sif's magic hair. Shaved it off, and changed it up with magic golden hair. So is it better? Well,
because
cause for change,
because Loki genuinely is like true chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Like most of the time he's just self-serving and he's as likely to help or hinder anyone who is or isn't on his side.
And he also strikes me as a compulsive trickster. Like he has to. Like he even if he wanted to stop it, I don't think he could. He's just too addicted to just messing with everybody all the time. And I also really like the portrayal of Thanos in Infinity War, because you have this exact same kind of thing going on. Like, what if you just look at his goal, eradicate half of the population of the entire universe? That's evil. Like that's super evil.
Yeah.
But he does it.
He believes that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like he doesn't do it because, I will do this because I'm evil or because I can. But he thinks that this is a hard choice that has to be made. Somebody has to do this. And he takes it upon himself. He takes on the responsibility the way he sees it. Yeah. And he doesn't enjoy it. and the things that he has to do, even when he has to torture somebody to do it, like you can tell that he's not enjoying it. He's not like the kind of villain who gets off on somebody else's suffering.
Where you add flaws and human error to your heroes, you have to add a sort of morality and nobility to your villain.
YouTube can suck it. All of it.
My job.
It's true. Someone's not getting laid tonight. You don't know my life. All the laying. All of it. Keep up the good work. No. I will turn everything to shit. I will do nothing but crappy cell phone vlogs now with clickbaity bullshit and titties in the thumbnail. That's what I'm gonna do now. Are there any significant risks of brain damage in HEMA? Significant? No, I wouldn't say so. There's a significant risk of brain damage in MMA and boxing and etc. Anything where you get repeated strikes on the head that knock your head around. Now, of course, there are hits to the head in HEMA, but you know, it's with all the protective gear, there's a certain amount of support. Like it limits your range of motion, so your head is not going to whip around like crazy. So it doesn't happen that often. And I mean, let's put it that way. If you regularly compete at a high level in tournaments and you fight a lot, then that is probably a substantial risk. Because the problem is repeated hits on the head. Even if they don't cause a concussion right there, if it's not that hard, it's cumulative. So it can still happen.